Welcome on in, guys. It is three full takes. Freddie, Chase, and Quinn. Guys, we're recording here on a Sunday night, so we're finishing up since it is the first full week of college football. We're finishing up. We all have LSU, USC running on our iPhones, so we don't have a fully updated score prediction yet, or not score prediction, score tally yet. But it looks like Quinn might be clear in the lead. Me and Freddie both have at least 1 to 2 losses so far. Quinn could finish out perfect for the first week of college football. But reminder, we all started out 0-1 because of the Florida State loss, so stick with us there. But guys, going into week 2, we have some good ones on deck for you. A lot of weird week 1 games, as typically happens. It's a tune-up. It's a shaking the rust off, but nothing bigger than this one. Freddie's going to give me the details, but we're going to start out talking about Oregon and Boise State. Freddie, what's the breakdown for that?
So it looks like Oregon is favored by 18.5 points. The over-under is 60.5. Game is at 9 p.m. In Oregon with a 80% chance to win according to ESPN.
Goodness gracious, 9 p.m. Pac-12 after dark did not go away for long, I'll tell you that. The reason I kind of brought this game to the board because Boise State has an absolute monster at running back. I don't know if you heard about him. I probably can't even pronounce his name. Ashton Jeanty, whatever his name is. He started out the season with 20 carries, 267 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Yeah, you heard me right. 6 touchdowns. Now they beat Georgia Southern in game 1, 56-45. I don't know. That probably doesn't bode too well for the Oregon game. At least their defense doesn't bode well. But Oregon also did not start out too hot either. If you watch a couple of our overreaction videos, I mentioned this one. Oregon only beat Idaho 24-14. Dylan Gabriel had 49 pass attempts with 2 touchdowns and I think over 400 yards. So, guys, Quinn, anybody, what do we make sense of in this game? Boise State and Oregon.
I'll tell you what I make sense of it. I make sense of it that people are gonna look at this and they're gonna hyperfixate on Boise State running all over Georgia Southern. And they're gonna look at the fact that Oregon played like trash against Idaho. And they're gonna go, you know what, Boise State could upset them. And they're gonna go and they're gonna put money on Boise State plus 18.5. And then Oregon's gonna go out on the field on Saturday and they're gonna beat Boise State by 24 points. That's what's gonna happen. Oregon is embarrassed that they looked that bad against a team they should have killed. They are going to get chewed all week long, up and down the field at practice 24/7. And they're going to come out and they're going to absolutely humiliate Boise State. Give me the Ducks. I'm going to say 42-17.
I agree. Listen, Boise State was favored, I think it was by 12.5 against Georgia Southern. Some people are picking them to be the Group of 5 representative in the playoff. Week 1 did not look good, but I will say this: a lot of teams did not look good in week 1, right? There was a lot of issues on offense, I think, because of the helmet comms. Like, I don't think we're looking into that like we should and taking that into consideration. That makes it difficult. Like, I heard a sound bite of what it sounds like in the helmet. It's hard to understand, hard to hear. Things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out throughout the rest of the year. I think Oregon's just a much better football team than what they looked like on Saturday against Idaho. It had 380 passing yards, so you'd assume that you'd put up more than 24 points. So probably the need to get that sorted out. But for Boise State's sake, I don't think they're going to be the Group of 5 representative. I think their name is just appealing, and that's why a lot of people are saying them, right? But we'll see. I like Oregon to beat them pretty bad. I think they cover the 18.5 point spread at home. Yeah, this game might get ugly.
Yeah, I mainly chose this game because Boise State is coming off an insane offensive performance, and then Oregon really struggled. That's the point here. Kind of looking at that, and I'm going to go ride right along with you guys. Boise State is probably not going to hang in this game for very long, and if they do, it's going to show how they are for Group of 5. But kind of like you, there's been a lot of teams that I've looked at for the group of 5 representative, and Boise State's probably not up there in the top 3 for me. They're a strong team. They always have been. They really have been since the Kellen Moore days. But that still doesn't allude to them being a top representative this year. This is the game, though, a statement piece. If you're the group of 5 representative, this is a statement piece for the end of the year, even if you do lose. Hey, we lost to Oregon 35-28, 35-31, we lost, but we still lost a really good game. Because the rest of the season, you don't have that. You get to play the Pac-2 and Washington State and Oregon State. You might have a chance to make a little bit of a statement there, but both those teams aren't going to amount to too much this year as well. But GT, that's a really cool thing. I don't know. I can't remember the last time. Maybe Jay Ajayi had some Heisman love when he was on the Broncos team. But this could be a cool little storyline for the rest of the season. It kind of reminds me when Lamar Jackson had 8 touchdowns in his first game at Louisville, or his Heisman season. So maybe that's what this is, and I kind of wanted to point that out. But I'm going to go ahead and take Oregon as well. Hopefully Dan Lenny gets them a little more tuned up, because I'm kind of hoping that they'll be a good Big Ten team. But this was a really tough game to watch to open up in the first season for Big Ten play, is that you're going to struggle against an FCS team in Idaho. So, guys, thanks for watching. We're all going to choose Oregon here, so make sure to keep tuned. We usually give you 5 to 6 games a week, depending on how good some matchups are. So make sure to stick tuned for mine, Freddie's, and Quinn's takes and predictions each week. Thanks so much for listening to 3 Bold Takes. We're out.